9.
Hello there, a very good evening and welcome to your primetime weekend news bulletin with me, Shane Silva.
And I'm Arundhati Mudanayaka. First, a look at the stories making headlines this evening.
Headlines on Newsfirst at 9.
Government hospital in Badurulya temporarily shut down. Patients transferred to the Nagoda hospital. TNS says it is prepared for talks on a political solution that goes beyond the 13th Amendment to the Constitution. Deputy Minister Sarath Kumar Gunaratne comments on local government representatives. Another 4 human skulls discovered in Mena.
News First at 9.
The staff at the Badurulya Government Hospital has taken steps to temporarily shut down the operations at the hospital.
According to the staff, they had resorted to this measure over death threats being made at the staff, including the medical officer in charge.
An argument had broken out over a delay in administering treatment to a patient who was brought to the Badurulya hospital early morning on the 18th.
He said he felt weak. He told us that he was suffering from a stomachache and was throwing up. I directed for an ECG test to be taken. The warden said that the result was poor. Then I took measures to transfer the patient in question to the Nagoda hospital for further treatment. The next day he had died at the Nagoda hospital. Later a group arrived and threatened me.
The final rites of the patient who died were performed yesterday. Subsequently, a group had staged a protest opposite the Badurulya Government Hospital. The staff at the hospital had decided to temporarily shut down the hospital and took measures to transfer all the in-house patients to the Nagoda hospital.
This incident had taken place when the group was not pleased with the time taken by the medical officer in charge to inquire into the patient. The hospital staff says that the group was under the influence of alcohol, but the group is saying that they weren't and they were seeking justice. This is the cause for this problem. My request is to relieve me from these death threats and an apology be made, and also for the staff to continue their work independently at the hospital.
A discussion took place this evening under the auspices of the Western Province Health Minister Jagat Angage over reopening the hospital and the issues in question. Our attempts to contact the Western Province Health Minister to inquire the decision that was reached proved futile. However, patients who arrived for treatment at the hospital said that they were severely inconvenienced by this act.
This closure is a big loss and very unfair to the patients.
Many patients came to the hospital and they had to go back. My child has high fever and we have no way of admitting him because the hospital is closed. We have no place to take our child either. We didn't even know about this. We had to travel about 12 kilometers by vehicle to get here. They've closed down and gone off like it is a private hospital. Many of the patients are from rural areas. Around 400 to 500 patients obtain medicine from this hospital daily. So these people have no way of getting medicine due to the closure of the hospital, and it is highly inconvenient. We are against this move.
Who let this mistake happen? Who will claim responsibility for this? Will a proper investigation take place?
News First at 9.
On to another story that made the headlines this evening now. The Tamil National Alliance says it is prepared for talks on a political solution that goes beyond the 13th Amendment to the Constitution.
TNA Parliamentary Group leader Sampathan told the BBC World Service that his party is prepared to participate in the Parliamentary Select Committee process if it is proposed to the party after the scope of the PSC has been widened.
He made this statement while expressing his views on a recent statement made by President Mahinda Rajapaksa in Parliament.
We have accepted the President's invitation and are considering it. We are working under the belief that these problems must be resolved from within the country itself. Talks were held between the Tamil National Alliance and the government for over a year, seeking a solution to this problem. During the third round of talks, we presented our proposals in writing. The government said that they would respond. Although several years have passed, we have not received a response. It is during this time frame that another round of talks was held between the President and the Tamil National Alliance. An agreement was reached there, but it was not implemented. It was said that a list including our names was necessary for the Parliament Select Committee. We are moving forward based on the agreement that was reached during our discussions. That is our stance. But such an environment has not been created. The only intention of the Parliamentary Select Committee is to consider the removal of powers vested through the 13th Amendment to the Constitution. We cannot join the Select Committee in this situation. If we are to join the Select Committee, then we must have a permanent political solution. This is the background. We will not reject the President's invitation. Until the government makes a change in its stance, we must act thinking about this factor. The Lessons Learnt and Reconciliation Commission has concluded that such problems have arisen because solutions were not provided to the problems faced by the Tamil people. A political solution is necessary, and that commission has recommended that the government must put forward its proposals and come forward for talks. The government has not acted in accordance with the recommendations of the commission appointed by them. This must change. We are prepared at any instance for discussions on a solution that can be brought forth from within the country. We will not falter on this.
The BBC World Service also asked the TNA parliamentary group leader if the party is willing to participate if they are invited to talks that promise solutions to all the problems faced by the Tamil people.
If such a proposal is put forward, we will participate in those discussions. There must be additional factors to the provisions made in the 13th Amendment to the Constitution. The proposals that are put forward must be progressive and amended. Discussions must be held in accordance with recommendations of select committees appointed by previous heads of state of the country. We are prepared at every instance to secure a permanent political solution.
Another 4 human skulls have been discovered at an excavation conducted near a Kovil on the A32 highway in Mannar.
Police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rona says that this brings the total number of human skulls discovered at the location to 10. The judicial medical officer has ascertained that the skulls and bones date back to about 15 years ago. The police media spokesperson added that while investigations are underway to determine the cause of death, excavations at the location have been temporarily halted following a court order. Meanwhile, in the latest turn of events in the year-long saga of mass grave discovered at the Matale General Hospital, authorities have commenced dental examinations of the teeth found there. JMO or Judicial Medical Officer, the Kurunegala Hospital, Dr. Ajit Jayasekar says that the dental examinations will help ascertain the identities of the remains found in the mass grave and also the causes of death. He added that DNA testing would commence following dental examinations. Investigations into the discovery of skeletal remains during renovations on the Kegol-Avisavala Road continue. The skeletal remains were discovered when a backhoe was removing dirt for renovation purposes. The authorities who investigated the crime scene handed over the skeletal remains to the Judicial Medical Officer on Monday.
A woman's body was found inside a well in Thiruveyaru, Kilinochi this morning.
Area residents say the woman had been living alone in the Thiruvayar area. She had been identified as 71-year-old Selama. The police say that the cause of the suspected murder is yet to be ascertained.
An individual has been arrested in Balangoda over the murder of another in Uravala in Valigepula, Ratnapura. According to the police, the victim and suspect are neighbours.
It is reported that a heated argument had broken out between 2 locals in Uravala on Friday night. The police suspect that the argument may have resulted in murder. The police said that they received information this morning that the victim had been buried behind the house of the suspect. The crime scene was investigated by authorities today and the corpse will be dug up tomorrow, where the post-mortem examination will take place. The victim has been identified as 65-year-old KG Piedasa, a father of 3 from Uravala.
In other local news, Deputy Minister of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Development, Sarat Kumar Gunaratna, commented on local government representatives at an event in Negombo today.
When a road is being constructed, certain politicians hide behind the contractor. If not, they will go stand at a construction site. These are the politicians today. This is why our own voted against the budgets of local government institutions. a group that is in greed of money and power has been created. At some places, certain chairmen use their powers, while in some places, some ministers attempt to buy the Pradesh Sabha members or even the mayor for money. Present politics is one where one pays off members and showcase their monetary power.
The 209th branch of Satasu was declared open in Negombo by Deputy Minister of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Development Sarath Kumar Gunaratne today.
Newsfirst at 9.
Welcome back to the news.
The main theme among all prominent politicians at the 55th UNP convention held yesterday was that the party must move forward with unity.
Although this was echoed by all party members, including opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe, political analysts say that Wickremesinghe does not have the ability to rally all factions and spread unity.
In order to take the party down a victorious path, all members must have strength, singular aspiration, and the entire party should rise up with one voice and one vision. Are we prepared to be united? I invite all of you to come together with this leadership council. Are you prepared? Come and fight within this.
Although it was stated that all must work together with unity, UNP activists say that the leadership itself has worked in a manner that harms the unity of the party. The defection to the government of the current chairman of the Leadership Council, Karuja Surya, along with 17 prominent members of the UNP, is key factor in the decline of the party.
I think Karuja Surya defected to the government with good intentions during the war. But the problem is, why did he not remain there until the war was won? There is a lack of argument there.
While Karuja Surya, who defected with 17 prominent UNPers, returned to the party alone and was granted the position of deputy leader, he has now also been granted the position of chairman of the United Leadership Council.
Victory cannot be achieved when the leader of the UNP, who has been in the opposition for 20 years, is put back in the same position. At the same time, persons from external parties have been imported to the Leadership Council. There are plenty of UNP faithful who have dedicated their lives for the party. They are the persons who should be appointed to the Leadership Council. Otherwise, this party cannot win. The convention did not serve any purpose, and the UNP Leadership Council has not served any purpose. Today, the UNP cannot find supporters to contest the provincial council elections. We saw how they are putting forward actors and actresses to contest in the south. They have put forward an actress to contest in the south. Why is this? There are talented youth in the UNP. They have become disillusioned with the party and former party seniors and have abandoned the party. How is the party going to be made victorious?
Some party activists say that instead of guiding the party supporters, the UNP leadership, which has divided frontline activists of the party, made a fool of itself before party supporters at the convention.
In another 2 years, they will lift their robes and unveil 3 casinos. I spoke about 3 casinos, not about anything else. The UNP convention is a major affair in the party. It is something that should contribute to climbing several steps towards victory of the party. But this leader is uttering vulgarities before the party. You cannot utter vulgarities and make the party victorious. This vulgarity must be stopped immediately for the UNP to be victorious.
These leaders who speak about unity did not even give Sajid Premadas an opportunity to make a speech, and they sidelined him. When granting memberships, they did not give Sajid Premadas a chance to present memberships at yesterday's party convention. Who is it that Ranil Wickremesinghe is appointed to the Leadership Council that was proposed by us? He has appointed some henchmen that he wants to the Leadership Council. Instead of appointing party seniors like Damini Jayavikrama Pereira, Thalathathu Korala, Ranjit Madduma Bandara, Imtiaz Bakir Maka, John Amaratunga and Joseph Michael Pereira, people like Mangala Samravira, who worked from within other parties to destroy the UNP and then came into the UNP, have been included in this leadership council. If a media campaign was undertaken in some fashion for the UNP to be able to be in some sort of position even now, it was done by the Maubima newspaper and the Sirasa media network. Today this ungrateful leader has forgotten this and has gotten his henchmen to attack these institutions too. If such persons come into power in this country, then the picture that we have on the fate of the media is very fearful.
රටේ මාධ්‍යයට අත්ත නිරනම ගැන අපිට මහා භයානක චිත්‍රයක් තමයි වෙන්නේ.